Yes, and then Maurice Davidson, he was, 10 years, he was the rabbi.
$23,000 a year.
Really?
That's,
Yeah, I think the first two it was like from Texas.
many pilots.
Yeah, I know that there's a large community in Houston.
Yeah. I wonder why that is.
I mean, it's new. Well, there's also a lot of Israelis.
Well,
Yeah, no, it's
just know that the war, spend more than 2 years,
get on.
you are immediately square with it. So, just, take the and just, alright. I'm
Yeah, my my last name is not well, so my last name is actually
like that. So regularly, they also fly out next day. $500 per person.
Shabbat Shalom.
And free hotel.
Oh my gosh.
No. So we have kids.
Houston. Well, then this must feel like a it's a dryer. It's not as dry as I'm used to in America. The best
Blue sky, no clouds, and there are visibility.
I know we have a
You feel a lot better.
so, they'll tell me about themselves.
I mean, stuff really didn't happen. No, yeah.
Yeah, that's but I knew that in my head.
Yeah, no,
I stand up better than I know. How are you doing, my dear? Doing all right. How's it going in the summer? Back?
Yeah.
Well, it's also like expected. I don't even think there's
It is.
What were you doing?
if I answered what he said, I was like,
A month ago.
no, I live in Devon, so this is I go here most of the time.
I am still. Well, it does, it's anywhere from a month to a year, depending on the individual.
Yeah.
It took me 6 months to get where I am.
Yeah, so my mom's side is
Yeah, that's possible.
have you been this way?
Yeah, sure.
It's an experience.
Source number 2.
Yeah. Well, that's actually been
Well, today I got home. So,
yeah, that is. But the thing is, Sephardic got their and typically like grade 2 train they don't do the silent reading, so it'll just be out.
So she made
And then you know, they really cause us really take their response. It depends. Like if you go, yeah, but also like if you have some of them more yeah.
All right, your current position is confidential. Sue, Mary, oh my God.
You know, what I did was, and I had a Spotify account.
Jeff, how are you? Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to everyone in here. Welcome to everyone out there, to the Jews around the world. It's delightful to be able to celebrate Shabbat with you all. And so we have a couple of guests. We're delighted to have you. And if you stick around after it's all over with, it's not all over with because there will be cookies. So please stick around for a little bit longer so we get to know you. We're going to start out with a nigun, and Dr. Nikki is going to be getting us started here.
There's a handout. If you didn't pick it up, maybe grab a couple. It's called Olam Chesed Yivaneh. And what we're going to do is start out by just...
You got to bring the mic a little closer to you.
Hi.
There we go.
Shabbat Shalom. How are you? Let's do that all over again. Okay. This is going to be the opening nigun, and it's also going to be the closing song. It's called Oban Chesed Yivaneh, and the Musar group that I am wonderfully working with right now. We just finished up Loving Kindness, the chapter on loving kindness, and And so this is a song that we learned that emulates loving kindness, and it was written by Rabbi Menachem Creator right after 9/11. So some of us remember that. Okay, so we're going to start out with just a nigun. Let's just open it up with some lilas. I'll do it first. When you think you've got it, please join in with me. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. La 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 la. Lie, 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 lie. La 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. La 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 lie. Now with the Hebrew. O ban chesed yibare, la 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 la. O ban chesed yibare, la 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 la. O ban chesed yibare, la 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 la. Oh, ban chesed yibare, yada da 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 da. One more time. Oh, ban chesed yibare, yada da 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 da. Oh, ban chesed yibare, yada da 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 da. Oh, ban chesed yibare, yada da 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 da. Oh, ban chesed yibare, yada da 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 da. Die, 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 die. Yada, die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Yada, die, 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 die. Yai, die, 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 die. Yada, die, 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 die. Yai, da 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 da, ya da 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 da.
He will build a world of mercy or love, or he is building a world of mercy and love. A lovely little piece, and actually a little apropos to my sermon tonight, but we'll get to that. So, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And as I insist, because the Jewish community is not merely a spiritual community, or not merely spiritual, we are a community, it's always good to find out what's going on in the community. So I like to do my tovu vracha, my good and blessing, to know what good things, what blessed things have happened to us in the past week, and we keep each other informed. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Just something positive that's come about in the last 7 days. So let's start with this side of the room. Who has a good and blessing to share with me? Yes, young man, you're here back from Green. All right, what have you got to share with us? Oh, nice, very nice. They're very white, and and since you were at Green for 3 weeks, yeah. So hold up your hands so everyone can see you still got your fingers. All right, good. See, that's the measurement of success at Green Family Camp. All right, and who else has? Howard.
So, on June the 5th, I had hip replacement surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, I graduated from walker to a cane.
A rapid recovery, may it be a refuah shlema, complete recovery. That's outstanding. You're looking great. Who else? Anybody else on this side of the room want to report something? No, no, no. Just that long pattern of gray. Yes, Richard.
I have to comment on Howard's success.
Yes.
I'm extremely jealous, having obviously gone through the same thing, but at a much slower pace. But I graduated from PT
Uh-huh.
to just regular exercise and aquatic fitness.
Okay. Well, but as I just want to remind us all, hip replacements are now remarkably routine. We live in an age of miracles and wonders. So, how about over on this side of the room? Deborah.
My sister's coming. She's got vacation and she's coming up.
Isn't that great? Nothing like a little reunion with family. Yeah, Robin's going to be taking off in a couple of weeks to visit family in New Jersey, and it's a great occasion. What's that?
Where in New Jersey?
I used to be living since now Rockaway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, up there towards New York. So, all right, and yes, Melissa.
His birthday today.
Oh, Mazel Tov. Congratulations, that's great. Anyone else have a good and blessing to report? Yes, sir.
I'm here.
You are. You're one of our visitors. We're glad to have you here. And if you need any questions answered, just tap Neil on the shoulder. If you need any questions answered correctly, turn around and talk to Helena. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? All right. Anything?
Yeah, we had our house, all our weeds pulled, which took forever. And they found this little yellow turtle. It wasn't, it was about this big, and it was real friendly. It had like a yellow shell. It was great.
That is.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Gave it water and melon and.
Wildlife, like wildlife.
And for Robin and I, they haven't been able to travel because of COVID, because they are the rabbi and educator in Hong Kong. And if you're at all familiar with how the Chinese have responded to COVID, they were basically prisoners on Hong Kong Island for the past 3 years. And now this year, for the first time, they've been able to once again do their annual pilgrimage to fly in DFW, go visit relatives across the Midwest, and go see their children in college. So Stan and Martha were here for this week, and it was a delight to have them again. All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to get Shabbat going. Now, of course, like death, Shabbat is not an event, it's a process. And so we're going to come at it from a couple of different points as we go. But we're going to start by lighting candles, and it's my privilege to invite up Deborah to light candles for us. She's one of our hosts tonight. And if you go to page 26, we're going to be in service number 2.
Good matches. Or not.
So many choices and none of them are working for you?
Yeah.
Give it a good solid tap.
My non-smoking days.
There you go. That didn't quite work.
No problem. Oh, yeah. No.
Yep, that's all right. I am here to help. You do the important part. You do the bracha.
Okay.
And I will deal with the air conditioner and the...
Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlegna shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat. Thank you. And we're going to begin with Dodi Lee. So if you look at page 25, Dodi Lee, my beloved is mine, and I am my beloved's, a shepherd among the lilies.
All right. Dodi li va'ani lo haroe hashoshanim Dodi li va'ani lo haro'e v'shoshanim mitzotola min hamidbar mitzotola mikateret mor ulavana li haftini achoti kala li haftini kala livhatini achoti kala livhatini kala Dodi li va'ani lo haro'e v'shoshanim Dodi li va'ani lo haro'e v'shoshanim.
In continuing the theme of the love of Shabbat and the love that God grants us on Shabbat, I read you the English Anim Zemerot. I seek pleasing melodies and weave songs, for my soul thirsts for you. My soul desires to rest in the shadow of your hand and to know all your mysterious secrets. Whenever I speak of your glory, my heart yearns for your love. Let my meditation be sweet to you, for my soul thirsts for you. We continue now on page 27, and we offer the prayer, Shalom Aleichem. We welcome the angels of Shabbat into our midst.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Chamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Porchem la shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Chamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni la shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Chamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sehem la shalom, Ma'el HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Chamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Eila chamda libi, husana ve'alna titalem. This is my heart's desire. In your mercy, O God, do not conceal yourself from us. Psalm 39 together. O God, you have searched me and you know me well. You understand all my thoughts and every word upon my tongue. Your presence surrounds me. You touch me with your hand, and your presence exceeds my own perception. It is a wonder beyond imagining. We continue now with Hatzi Kaddish.
Yitgal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Yamad yivrach hirutei v'yamlech mahutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon u'chayeter kol beit Yisrael. Bagala uvizman kariv v'yemaru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'almei yomaya yitbarach v'yishtabach Viet Pa'ar, Viet Roman, Viet Nase, Viet Hadar, Viet Ale, Viet Allah, Shmeda Kudashah, Brehu, Leila min Kobirchata, Vashirata, Shushbechata, Vanehemata, Damin Ran Biama, Bimaru, Amen.
So we come now to the Baruch Hu. If you can rise in body, rise in body. If you can rise in spirit, rise in spirit, and join us in starting the evening service.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Havarah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah Le'olam Va'ed. We continue by honoring God's creation with Psalm 104. Bless the eternal, O my soul. O eternal my God, you are very great. You are clothed in glory and majesty, wrapped in light like a robe. You spread out the heavens like a tent cloth, and God sets the rafters of the high places in the waters. God makes the winds to be messengers, fiery flames to serve you. You made the deep cover the earth as a garment, and the waves to stand above mountains. The streams gush forth in torrents. They make their way between the hills. You water the mountains from your high places. The earth is sated from the fruit of your work. The trees of the eternal drink their fill. The cedars of Lebanon, your own planting, where birds make their nest, while the stork begins her home in the junipers. God made the moon to mark the seasons. The sun knows it's time to set. How manifold are your works, O eternal. In wisdom you have made them all. May the glory of the eternal endure forever, and may you rejoice in your works. Blessed is the eternal, O my soul. Hallelujah. As I sing of one God, I rejoice in the wonders of this world, and I pray for a day when all people shall be as one. Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated, and if you feel comfortable, please join us in reciting the V'ahavta.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'cha nafshecha u'v'cha meodecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom alevavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivteka v'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'aderech, u'shachbecha uv'kumecha, u'kshartam la'ot al yadecha, V'chayu l'totafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mitzutzot beitecha u'visharecha l'ma'an tizkaru v'ashitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lehohekem ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem.
The middle of page 32. When a Jew speaks a word of prayer in love and awe, the power of that word gives birth to God's glory. And the angels call out to God, "Who is like unto you?" How great is even a single word of such a prayer. It causes all the angels to sing. All worlds join with the one who serves the eternal. This is the meaning of the Micha Mocha, that one who sings a song below can arouse so many songs on high.
Yai dai 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 dai, yada dai dai bim bam. Yai dai 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 dai, yada dai dai bim bam. Yai dai 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 dai, yada dai dai bim bam. Yai dai 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 dai, yada dai dai bim bam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot o sefele, nora tehilot o sefele. Yai dai 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 dai, yada dai ba bim bam. Yai dai 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 dai, yada dai ba bim bam. Yai dai 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 dai, yada dai ba bim bam. Yai dai 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 dai, yada dai ba bim bam. Hashkivenu in the middle of the page. Grant that we should lie down tonight in peace, Adonai our God, and raise us up, O Sovereign, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and for your name's sake, be our help. Baruch atah Adonai hafores sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. I might imagine God as a teacher or a friend, but such images like king, master, father, or mother can be too small for me now. God is the force of motion and light in the universe. God is the strength of life on our planet. God is the power moving us to do good. God is the source of love springing up in us. God is far beyond what we can comprehend. Once again, I invite you, if able, to stand for tefillah. Adonai sefer ufia b'tehilotecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Hasdei Avot Imo, U'mevi Gula L'nei V'neihem, L'man Shemo V'ahava, Melech Ozer Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav L'Moshiach, Mechakel Chayim V'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol V'Rachamim Rabim, Zomech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishanei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevuros, Umidomela, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, B'nei Manata L'chayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah Kadosh, Shimcha Kadosh,
Kadoshim L'chol Yom Yachad L'Chasela. Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated, everyone. We want to honor the Sabbath this day of days, and on the middle of page 36, we're going to be singing Yismechu v'Malachutacha. For those of us who are new to the congregation, visitors, we have a particular way we do this at Kol Ami. It's a responsive reading. You'll get the hang of it very quickly. It doesn't take much effort.
Yismechu v'Malachutacha. Shamrei, Shamrei, Shamrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'Malachutecha. Shamrei, Shamrei, Shamrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshe Shavi Shabbat. Kulam Yisbe'u V'yitangu Metuvecha Shabbat. Shabbat. Yismechu b'Malachutecha. Shamrei, Shamrei, Shamrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'Malachutecha. Shamrei, Shamrei, Shamrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Uvashvi Ratzitabo V'kidashto Shabbat. Kemdat Yamim Oto Karata Shabbat. Shabbat. Yismechu b'Malachutecha. Shamrei, Shamrei, Shamrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'Malachutecha. Shamrei, Shamrei, Shamrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Zecher L'maaseh v'Reishit Shabbat. Zecher L'maaseh v'Reishit Shabbat. Yismechu b'Malachutecha. Shamrei, Shamrei, Shamrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'Malachutecha. Shamrei, Shamrei, Shamrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat.
Those who keep the Shabbat and call it a delight shall rejoice in your kingdom. The people who sanctify the seventh day shall be gladdened by your goodness. For this is the day of your desire, sanctified and blessed by you, the most precious of days, a memorial to your work of creation. And a prayer for acceptance. We reach out to you, O God, from our quiet places. May we stand still for a brief moment and listen to the rain. May we stand still for a brief moment and watch the playful play of sunlight and shadow on the leaves. And for a brief moment, listen to the world. We need a quiet place to test the balance of our days, the weight of our own needs against the heaviness of the world's demands. The balance is precarious. Steady us with faith. Quiet places and stillness where we will hear our own best impulses speak. Quiet places and stillness where we will reach out to each other. We will find strength in silence, and with that strength, we will turn again to your service. And a prayer for thanksgiving. There are times, O God, when I do feel alone, and yet I know in my heart I'm never really alone. You're always there, waiting for me to speak to you of my desires, fears, hopes, and dreams. Yet, how seldom do I reach out to you to voice my gratitude for all that is beautiful in my life, for all the gifts of my life. Love, family, and friendship, they've all come from you. But the greatest gift of all is your presence, which time and again has given me strength, hope, and courage. So in the midst of doubt and confusion, I need to know that you are beside me, not only in the prayer book, but in the depth of my being, my friend, my strength, my God. We take time now for singing Shalom Rav to tie up this end of the service, asking for abundant peace. And then we're just going to have a few moments for our own silent prayers and meditations.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol lev v'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Let me begin by saying that the human mind is an amazing thing, and one doesn't actually have to read something. Sometimes simply pattern recognition is enough for you to know what you're looking at. And so, for example, I can look to the very last row of the congregation and see a man wearing a character sheet for Dungeons and Dragons on the front of his shirt. And Primo, we'll talk more when we get to Oneg. That's representing D&D. It's very important. All right. So, look, for those of you who've been listening to me, I've been doing this for 23 years. I repeat certain ideas over and over again because there's really nothing new under the sun, as Solomon has taught us. I just rephrase it in different ways. I emphasize again and again the importance of the Jewish calendar. How much we can learn by paying attention to the Jewish calendar, by being aware of the coming and going of weeks and holidays and parshiot and things like that. But it's kind of exciting when someone actually listens to me and actually knows when these things are happening. So this has been a banner week because yesterday when I was meeting with some people, one of them said, "Oh, it's the 17th of Tammuz." And I'm like, "Yes, it is the 17th of Tammuz. Do you know what the 17th of Tammuz is?" And she said, "Yes." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so fantastic." And then I get a call from one of our soloists, and she says, Tisha B'Av is coming in a couple of weeks. I'd like to prepare Psalm 137 as a performance. And I'm like, "Yes, let's get Tisha B'Av in here." These are holidays, not holidays, commemorative days that happen during the summer. People are not generally paying attention. I'm really kind of excited when people notice this. Now, they are, as I've said, commemorative days, not holidays. They commemorate usually sad, tragic, disastrous things that have happened to us. So what's going on in this? Now, the Bible has many ways of expressing sorrow, and the Psalms are a great example of that. For example, you'd be surprised to learn that about 57 out of 150 Psalms are actually laments. That's 38%. And yet, today, how many of our worship events actually even contain a single song of lament? Very few. But in this particular month, we encounter a couple of them. In the fourth month of the biblical calendar, we mention with sorrow the name Tammuz, the month Tammuz. The name Tammuz is not named in Scripture for this month, but it does appear in another context, which is Ezekiel 8, where it says, "And then he brought me to the entrance of the north gate of the house of the Lord, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. And then he said to me, have you seen this, O son of man? You will see even greater abominations than that." Now, in its original context, Tammuz was a Babylonian idol. But we need to be clear about this. I'm not suggesting that we're mourning for a false god. The fact of the matter is that the Jewish calendar has taken the names for the Babylonian months and made them part of the Hebrew calendar. So now it's no longer the goddess Tammuz, it's the month of Tammuz. And this may seem retro or strange to you, but it shouldn't, because yesterday was Thor's Day, right? And today is Frey's Day. And, Frey is nothing more or less than the Norwegian god of elves. So, we retain these certain old habits, and the Jews do too. So, Tammuz, is this a leftover bit of pagan syncretism? Not really. Historically, the sages have taught that the fourth month was the month when God began to bring judgment on the people of Israel for idolatry and for other things. And this is remembered with something called the Fast of the 17th of Tammuz. Now, it corresponds to no less than five different tragedies, which I think is a good thing, because it's really good to economize our time being upset about stuff, right? So if we can bring all of those unfortunate moments together, I think it just makes things much easier. So, according to the Talmudic tradition, it commemorates the following: the breaking of the tablets at the golden calf, the suspension of the daily sacrifice before the destruction of the first temple, the breaching of the walls of Jerusalem before the destruction of the second temple, and the burning of a Torah scroll and the erecting of an idol in the second temple by a Roman official. So we've got them all nicely packed together here. I think it's a lot of things to be sad about. And this begins the period known as the 3 weeks, sometimes called between the straits, or in the tight, narrow times, or 3 weeks of distress, if you prefer. This is a 3-week period of mourning that concludes with the fast of the 9th of Av, when Jerusalem fell to the Romans and the temple was destroyed for yet a second time. During this time, we think about the errors of our forefathers and Israel, and we take time to examine our own shortcomings and failings. Now, this doesn't feel terribly American, right? And as moderns, we're not so much caught up in the idea of beating ourselves up over events in our own life, much less something that was done 2,000 years ago or 2,500 years ago. But, and that's part of being American. Because Americans, we don't actually lack for disasters. We acknowledge, for example, every year Pearl Harbor Day. Of late, we've come to commemorate 9/11. But American memory, it seems, is not like Jewish memory. Push back to the 19th century, and suddenly we turn forgetful. For example, do we regularly commemorate the beginning of the Civil War? Or its end, the most disastrous war in American history? Do we mark the day the British burned the White House during the War of 1812? Or how about the Great Influenza of 1918 to 1919? Not really. How about the Jonestown flood? We got a song, but nobody ever sings it. The San Francisco earthquake, locally, the Galveston hurricane. We just don't seem to remember these things. And what do we do with these earlier disasters? There's even others. Who remembers the tragedy of George Washington having to surrender New York City to the British, or the British occupying Philadelphia, our first capital, for 2 years? We can barely recall 2 centuries ago, much less 2,000 years ago. But Jews, we remember. You could say we hold a grudge. I'm not sure exactly how to describe it. The name Tammuz serves as a reminder of our dark past as a people, 2 millennia before. We do not weep over idols, but we do weep over our past tragedies. And yet, we do not weep as those without hope. And that's the key. Tammuz is also a reminder of everything that has unfolded since then. What we have is we have context. We know what the next 2,000 years holds, and therefore we are not overwhelmed by these tragedies. To give you a very, very superficial American comparison, take, for example, Pearl Harbor Day. I don't think any of us are able to ignore that day. Doesn't go by each and every year without somebody posting about it, at least on Facebook, or talking about it. And it's certainly a tragedy. And it initiated 4 years of profound trials for the United States of America. But in retrospect, it can be seen as the day that initiated what can be called the American century. Pulled out of our continental isolation, America began its ascent to great power, to superpower, and then to sole superpower. As much as we worry, and as much as we feel like everything is so fragile, the last 80 years since Pearl Harbor has been the greatest 80 years in American history. And 2,000 years of perspective allows us to put the destruction of Jerusalem and the temple into a very long perspective. These tragedies launched the Jewish people into the larger world. We went from being an obscure Asiatic group clinging to the Eastern Mediterranean to become a world-spanning and world-transforming people. In perspective, we can see that these tragedies hold the seeds of other, more hopeful things. And that's the perspective I like to take on these commemorative days. I don't call upon us to fast for the 17th of Tammuz, and I don't ask Jews to fast for Tisha B'Av. Why? Because we have Jerusalem. We live in Jerusalem. We can observe Tisha B'Av in Jerusalem, rather than sitting in some moment of the diaspora and say, oh, I wish I had Jerusalem again. And because of that, it gives us an incredible long-term perspective. And I think that's very helpful to us. Today, in Israel, the ground is shaking under our feet again, as it has done in the past. 5 months now, the state of Israel has been in turmoil. Not a civil war, but a civil confrontation has been going on pretty much continuously, and will continue for some time until there is some resolution, which may or may not be its own occasion for tragedy. But it is Jew versus Jew, and it has been painful from a distance to watch. But what will it mean in 100 years? What will it mean in 500 years? We'll have to wait and see. And in the best Jewish tradition, we'll have to wait even longer to understand it. But one can look at it and say, oi, This terrible thing is happening to the Jews of Israel, or one could say, what a remarkable effervescence of democracy happening in Israel at this very moment. It could go either way, and we don't know yet. So it's not time for us to mourn just yet. And God willing, when we do find the sadness in it, we will also see the seeds of the future. And that was what was said at the time of the destruction of the temple, when it was written, "You have turned for me my mourning into dancing, and you have loosened my sackcloth and clothed me with gladness." Ken Yehi Ratzon, may that be the fate of the most recent upheaval in Jewish life. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. All right, it's time for announcements, and our officer tonight is it our beloved president? It is our beloved president.
Thank you, Rabbi. Beloved president, I guess that's me. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for coming out to a nice, toasty, 90 some odd degree night here in Flower Mound, Texas, and we're glad to have everybody here, and hopefully you can stay for Oneg tonight. Speaking of which, let's go into the announcements and just touch on a couple things that have been happening in our community lately. We've had a couple of anniversaries. I just want to touch on those really quick. David and Kristen Diamond, Gary and Ann Jacobs, and Harry and Nancy Friedman have just had their anniversaries. So congratulations to them. We've had a couple birthdays this past week. Edward Barnett, Deborah Cohen, Jody Hoffman, Kathy Polikoff, Isabella Rhodes, Lisa Cagle, Taylor Diaz, Brandy Hunter, Eileen Redwood, Evan Russo, and we have a fine birthday person here with us as well. So thank you all for joining us, and happy birthday to those folks. With that being said, we do have a couple other announcements, just want to make sure everybody is aware of. We are having our CKA blood drive.
Blood sacrifice, yes, blood drive.
Blood sacrifice.
Blood
Yeah,
sacrifice.
maybe bloodletting, but that's okay. But it's a good cause. If you can do it, please take advantage of donating blood, whether it be with our blood drive that we have here.
You young and vigorous people over there, I see you. Yes, okay.
So, believe it or not, a blood donation goes a long way, not only with your whole blood, but the platelets, the plasma that is part of your donation go a long way to helping a lot of people. So please consider giving. As I was saying, we are going to be doing this on July 29th from noon until 4 p.m. Every donation is great. If you come and you can't donate, thank you for coming and trying. Please try and come and donate if you can. As always, where do we have all this important information? On our website. And then also there is a poster out in the hallway for additional information. You can reach out to the office or to Miss Hart, and she will be able to also provide some additional information. So I did briefly talk about Onegs. Of course, we will have that after our services tonight. We'd like for you to join us in Onegi Hall, but we've changed on how we're doing our Onegs. So beginning this week, Congregation Kol Ami is changing our Oneg process. Starting with the Oneg tonight, families will be able to pick a date or dates where they would like to host. You will be able to sign up yourself on the website under the member tools. You may host or provide food directly, or you can sponsor an Oneg with a minimum donation of $40. Please help us with this important mitzvah and sign up on the website now. And we want to make sure we have coverage for every Friday night, so please don't wait. Please participate and help us out with this. We would greatly appreciate that. With that, as is customary at Congregation Kol Ami, we always like to make sure that we recognize those in need of healing. Is there anyone here in the congregation that has someone that would like to add a name to our Misha Barak list?
Joyce Renner and Bruce Bond.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Carla Smith.
Wayne?
Avery Dossie and Susie Jenkins.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Robin Dennis and Marilyn Colton.
And Joyce Thornton. In addition to those, we also like to add Joyce Bloom, Natalie Bovino, George Cavanas, Mark Davis, Francine Feingold, Courtney Giles, Deborah Goodman, Michelle Griffith, Molly Kalig, John Kaufman, Deb Kaufman, Janice Keener, Lauren Koenig, Alex Koenig, Al Linden, Matt Levine, Phyllis Lorelei, Steve Mydrick, Mal Miller, Anthony Neri, Jack Nygren, Gabby Olson, Paul Redwood Jr., Helen Rubel, Adrian Sandler, Dale Seaver, Susan Tabor, Happy Waterman, and the Honorable Howard Watt. If you would join us on either page 40 or 79 in your Siddur, or if you look on the back of your program for the Mishberach.
Mishberach Avotenu Mikor Havraham Limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishberach imotenu mikor Avraham lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We're going to turn now to page 82. And in keeping with the seemingly random but actually cunningly organized tradition of calling people out from the congregation, he didn't mention in his good and blessing, but he did tell me, so we won't make him say it, but I'm going to honor him. Come on up here, Adam, and open the ark with me. Page 82, if able, please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach Adon HaKol, Latechu la'irotzeh Reshit, Shelo asanu k'nei haratzot, V'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, Shelo sam chelchenu kahem, V'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamakim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noten shamayim v'yosed haaretz u'moshav yikaro v'shamayim ima'al u'shkinatu zo Begorei meromi, Hu Eloheinu Eino, Emet Malkeinu Efesulato, Kakatu B'Torato, Yedata Hayom V'Hashivota Elevavecha. Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim b'ma'al, ve'al ha'aretz itachat ein od. Please Please be seated. And whatever you do, do not ask Adam about the events that have honored him in the past couple of weeks. Don't bring it up. Bayom ha-hu, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. Our lives, O God, are in your hands. In you we trust. Whatever may be our destiny, we know that you will be there. And though we may never fathom the mysteries of life and death, we know this gift of life, which each of us has cherished. So no matter what the final end, let us rejoice in the sweetness of the past and our faith in a world to come. There will we find you, your love and your blessing. And so it is we take time to think of those individuals who passed away both recently and those who've died at this season in years past. And I begin by asking, is there anyone observing Shiva, anyone who's lost a loved one in the past 7 days? If so, please share the name with us.
My brother's mom, her husband passed away. His name is John, and her name is Sue.
Thank you. Is there anyone here in Shloshim, anyone who's lost a loved one in the last month? Thank you. And for our yard sites this week, here at the congregation, we are aware of Jerry Arts, Dora Diamond, Richard Elfont, Dorothy Gadan, James Jr. Ledden, Betty McCall, Robert Schmidt, Marlene Roth Siegel, and Meyer Watt. Is there anyone else who has a yard site in their family at the loss of a loved one? We recall all of these people for the blessings they have been in the lives of the people who knew them, and we also show our support for those who mourn by turning to page 85 and rising together to recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah, be'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayachon u'vyomechon, uv'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, Bagalal v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Damiran be'elma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort all the bereaved among us, and let us say, Amen. Please be seated. So we're going to have a closing song. Before we do, Douglas, were you aware that the British burned the White House once? No. So that embarrassment only rebounds to your mother, who is an American history teacher. But we'll keep working on it. We'll keep working on it. It's all right. It's all right. I know that everyone else was aware of that fact. So anyway, on that dark thought, we're going to build a world of love.
We will build this world of love. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, from Psalm 89, line 3. I will build this world of love. Yada-da-da-da-da-da. And you must build this world from love. Yada-da-da-da-da-da. And if we build this world from love, yada-da-da-da-da-da, Then God will build this world from love. Yada da 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 da. I will build this world from love. Yada da 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 da. And you must build this world from love. Yada da 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 da. And if we build this world from love, yada da 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 da, then God will build this world from love. Yada da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yiboreh. La da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yiboreh. Ya da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yiboreh. Ya da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yiboreh. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And please join us for Oneg.
And just so you know, none of these things happen in Canada.
Okay.
You go to Toronto, and you go outside of Toronto, there's a place.
Oh, that's okay. Just go ahead and put them there. Hopefully we'll use them again sometime. It's a nice song, isn't it?
American forces invading one race called burn your
I like the chant.
their revenge. for what we did. Yeah, you do know that. Of course, but that's why it's good. Hey, Maverick, how are you?
Okay, well, I'm glad you're here.
How are you, Shannon? All right, so let's have a look at